Hello, my name is Haley Burns, and I'm going to walk through my presentation for Course 3 of the AI for Product Management Specialization, Human Factors in AI. For this project, we've been asked to consider the user experience, privacy, and ethical considerations of our product. To recap from my previous Course 2 project, the problem I'd like to address involves a common challenge in the fleet management industry. Fleet managers oversee hundreds, if not thousands, of vehicles that are used for many different purposes. At some point in the vehicle's life, it will need to be sold off for a given resale value to make room for new vehicles. There are a lot of factors that go into the decision of if and when to sell and how much to sell for. The problem for fleet managers is they can often sell too late or too early and not capture the maximum value or resale potential for the vehicle. This has direct revenue impacts on the fleet management company. Machine learning could help solve this by providing fleet managers with a recommendation on when to sell a vehicle based on many different factors. For this project, I will perform task analysis, describe how the user will interact with my product, and analyze the privacy and ethical considerations when building my product. Here's how I imagine a fleet manager solves this problem today. Periodically, let's say at the end of a month, a fleet manager conducts a review of the overall fleet health. Among the fleet vehicles that he's in charge of, he reviews the highest mileage vehicles. Then he looks at the maintenance records of the highest mileage vehicles to see how they have been maintained. He also looks at any outstanding damage to see what overall conditions the vehicle is at. He uses his judgment to determine which vehicle he should sell off out of the fleet and does some research to arrive on the resale price or the price range. Then he marks the vehicle for sale on the company's website. I propose that the user interacts with the solution in the form of a dashboard that shows the portion of the fleet that is recommended for sale at the top and the rest of the vehicles below. The fleet manager would see a straightforward keep or sell next to some basic information about the vehicle. In order to provide feedback, fleet managers could explicitly mark a vehicle as sold and input the sale price. Or implicitly, the model could check if the vehicles that were marked for sale were deflected out of the system within X days. For transparency, if they hover over the vehicle's license plate, they can see all of the features that went into making the prediction, like vehicle condition, mileage, maintenance costs, future projected maintenance costs, saleability, etc. In order to communicate the level of confidence from the model, there could be a confidence score that the vehicle would sell in a certain amount of days or a price range instead of a definitive price. Since we aren't working with anyone's personally identifiable information, I'm not concerned about any privacy laws like HIPAA or GDPR applying here. We'll be using historical vehicle records, pricing, and mileage from the vehicle's telematics. I'm not as worried about ethical considerations since we're not making decisions that affect a person, just vehicles. However, our main potential source of bias in our model could be a lack of historical pricing data for certain makes and models or in certain regions that cause our model to give incorrect pricing recommendations or to not mark certain vehicles for sale in certain regions because there's not enough information about sales to enable the model to consider depreciation in various circumstances. For fairness, we expect positive outcomes and increased revenue from resale among all groups or makes and models in the fleet in all areas that we operate. For accountability, we want to make sure that the feedback, both implicit and explicit, are going back to the developer of the model for improvement. Lastly, for transparency, I recommend displaying both counterfactual explanations, like if you wait 5,000 more miles to sell this vehicle, you would experience a 15% depreciation, and a hover-over feature that shows the interpretation of how the model arrived at the decision and the importance of each feature in the decision, like mileage, condition, etc. Thank you.